So now that we got a little bit of an E chord happening, let's see some example that's been used. The first one I'm going to show you is I Can See for Miles. And the main riff of that song goes like that. As you can see, really all I'm doing is I'm taking that E chord shape. Got my pointer finger here at the 1st fret, middle finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, ring finger right underneath at the 4th string, 2nd fret. And I'm moving it all across the neck. I'm going to start with one measure of E right at the beginning location. 1, 2, 3, 4. Half a measure with my pointer finger at the 4th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Half a measure with my pointer finger at the 6th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 2 measures back at the 1st fret. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And basically start with that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you deceive me, no use a surprise. I know that you have, 'cause there's magic in my eyes. Yeah. The next section of it, I Can See for Miles, I'm going to do the same thing. It's not exactly what's on the record, but we're going to use, this is what we're going to do for our purposes. We're going to start one measure here at the 4th fret. 1 measure at the 6th fret, 1 measure at the 9th fret, and you can see the dot to help you find your location. 1 measure at the 11th fret, and this time the way to find it is your middle and ring finger are actually going to fall where the 2 dots at the 12th fret. And 2 measures on the original E. You can see, here it is again all together. I can see for my 4, and then my 6th fret, and 9th fret, and 11th fret. That's your main riff. If you want to play it more like exactly what's on the record, we're going to incorporate a little bit more in the strum here. See, I'm still doing the same thing, I'm just accenting it a little bit different. I'm playing on thick string a lot here. And every time I need to get a good hit, a good, like, powerful chord, I'm going to strum across all the strings. See, I'm pedaling that thing. I can see through. What I'm doing here is I'm kind of doing a strum on the chord and then just a single bass note. C for miles. On the recording, there's another guitar that also to things like that we're going to address at a later point. But there is the more specific way to play it. Once you're comfortable with these sections, there's a couple of other things that are happening in the song that we're going to use. And right now I'm just going to play just mimic them and tell you what it is that you're supposed to do, and then we'll elaborate more on them in class. Power chords. but you still want me with everything be, 'cause you gotta stand try, 'cause all the while. Power chords are done. There's a whole thing about power chords that I will address at the next session that we're going to do. But for now, I have my A power chord, which I'm going to have my pointer finger here at the 5th fret, 6th string, and you can use your ring finger for the 5th string, 7th fret, or you can use your pinky if this is too much of a reach. And I'm only strumming those 2 strings. Now the way to do it is actually, if you watch my pinky, it's slightly touching all the other strings underneath, so if I do hit them, they're not going to make enough sound to affect what we're hearing. Same thing, move that up to the 7th fret with the pointer finger and 9th fret with the pinky or ring, whichever one you're doing it. That may be because you're gone, because of the one I can see for miles and I can see for miles and I can see for miles. What I did, I started with just held chords. A, where this may be, but you balance and try because of the one. And then next section, I can see for A, 2 hits on that. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the B, back to E. I can see for miles and I can see for miles. Remember that section? We had that earlier. One more section that happens in the song, it's kind of incorporating some of the stuff we're talking to, but using a different chord, is when the modulation happens. We got an A chord this time. Instead of an E, we're going to do an A this time. So what I'm doing is I have my pointer finger lying flat, pressing strings 4 and 3 at the 2nd fret. See, the 1st and 2nd string are kind of muted because of the angle that I'm putting on the chord. And same idea, we're going to take that chord shape and move it across the strings to get the effect that we want to get. Eiffel Tower and the Taj Mahal are mine to see in a clear day. See, almost everything that we did shifted. First we had a 1, 3, 4 on with the E chord, and now we're going to shift everything down 1 string, but because of the tuning of the guitar, everything gets a little different as far as location. So I'm moving my finger to the 5th fret and to the 7th fret. In the same amount of time. So 1 measure on the first position, on the 1st chord, which is at the 2nd fret. Eiffel Tower. Move it half a measure, 2 strums on the 5th fret. Half a measure, 2 strums on the 7th fret. And back to again. So we're going to do the same thing that we did here with the power chords, but this time again everything got shifted up to the next set of strings. You're gonna choke on it too, 'cause yours that smile, you guys are the one I can see for miles and got the same idea. Notice that everything we're doing with our pointer finger here matches what we did fret-wise with what we did with the middle and ring finger on the E chord. I can see from miles in that climb. I can see from my 5th fret, 7th fret, 10th fret, 12th fret. One thing I will say about the high frets, depending on what kind of guitar you have, some of you might prefer to use your ring finger there, because when you're trying to see, I get kind of stuck here with the body of the guitar, and especially with nylon string guitar that end a little earlier. If you want to move around, use your ring finger, 10th fret, or 12th fret, or pinky if you want. And there's all the segments of the song. We'll put all of them together in class. This is a little bonus song. It's not the whole song, it's just one little section of a song. The song is really long and complicated. But you can use the same E chord concept for that section, and I'm talking about Xanadu by Rush. Sacred river rise to walk the caves of ice. Honeydew and bring the milk of just that section. I'm starting E at the 1st fret to the E at the 3rd fret. It's a sacred river. Again, E 1st fret. Then I'm going to move to the E at the 8th fret, move to the 6th fret, so I do that twice, then comes the riff. I'm all the way at the 11th fret, 11, 9, 6, 4, and that's that little section on that song.